Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Salsabila di Alfatika, and in this occasion, I will explain about creative writing. I will show you the concept in the mind map above. This time, I will explain about the definition of creative writing, integrated creative writing, implementation of creative writing in teaching cycle, also difficulties of creative writing. Let's just start to the definition of creative writing. So, creative writing is a way to express, communicate, and reveal a pure idea, experience, and imagination in the form of written text. Creative writing has a main goal, that is, to create a product in the form of poems, story, tales, and posters. Creative writing is one of many ways for humans to express and show their imagination. Creative writing is a form of art that uses words. Creative writing is not easy because to create a good story or poem, someone need to have a high language skill and vast vocabulary. Next is integrated creative writing. Textual source can be quite hard to be used as a learning source, especially for students who study the language as a second language and or foreign language. However, literature is a great tool for students to as it provide various input and could help the student overcome difficulties they're facing. By using literature, students can experience many ways to use and arrange the series of words, make it sound more beautiful and able to convey the proper meaning that they intended. Next is implementation of creative writing, that is teaching cycle. When we write a story, there are many ways and methods someone use. It, it may combine one's personal life, imagination, and social experience. Also, how the said social experience affect the writer. Creative writing can be practiced both inside and outside classroom. The process of writing step, that is pre-writing, writing process, and post-writing. People often use a combination of their knowledge, imagination, experience to create a unique story. In learning writing, focus on finding the most suitable writing techniques for their students. So there are three steps that always be used in writing. The first is pre-writing. That is an activity to gather idea, deciding the concept and component of the story before starting to write the actual story. The second is writing process. That is an activity where the writer executing the concept and idea they have gathered and turn it into a complete story. And the last is post writing. That is an activity after writing where the writer double check their work and correct any error they may have made in the writing process. Next, that is the last subject, that is difficulty of creative writing. The difficulty in creative writing that experienced by students are influenced by some factors. There are some of the factors are the belief of writing cannot be taught. The second, anxiety. The third, writing can only be owned and understood by students who study language or literature. And the last is genetic or biology context. And the biggest factor that make creative writing difficult is the lack of interest in writing. So the first factor is the belief of impossibility of teaching writing. People seems to believe that writing cannot be taught. This is, of course, it's not true. Teaching writing is hard, but it's not impossible. It may take time and patience, but as long as someone want to learn, it's still possible. The second is writing causing self-anxiety. Students often overwhelm themselves in the rewriting process. This problem can be avoided by taking it slow and write one thing at a time. Acknowledging the possibility of idea changing can also lessen the burden of following template that have been decided. The step of pre-writing is to help the writer carrying idea. It's it's only a concept, and uh, and all concept can be changed. Acknowledging that can help lessen the burden and avoiding self anxiety in writing. The next is only people who study language or literature can understand writing. It is not true. Anyone who willing to try will be able to understand and create their own writing. Someone don't need a degree in language or literature to write a story. Everyone who willing to try will be able to. And the next, that is the belief that ability to write is something that genetically inherited. This is only become true because the children of the parent who like to write what they see from their parents. So it's not genetic, it's more like a habit. The children often see their parents read a book, writing something, so they will try to imitate, and thus for just like their parent, they will get used to writing. That is the cause of this belief. And the last is the lack of willingness to write. This is the biggest problem because without any will to even try, there is no way someone could produce creative writing, let alone creative writing. Without any will, no one can achieve anything. So this is the biggest problem. The solution that can be given is to try and make the writing activity as interesting as possible. Make it into games or giving reward that could help in the classroom situation. So I think that I can explain. Thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.